typically don't keep a hunk of shit around.
Shh. And we are up live.
Welcome back to Cosplay Confederation. Hi, Freddie. We hope you're listening. Oh, we've got something that's gonna duck you up. Back! Up, fuckers!
Hey.
All right. Well, strap in. We got some fun for you tonight.
Oh my god, he's back again.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Cosplay Confederation. I lost count on what episode we are currently on.
I think we're like 12?
10.
10.
Welcome back
Oh,
to
so
the
we're not finding the live
Cosplay-
episodes. Okay, gotcha.
Welcome back to the Cosplay Confederation. As always, my name is Sleepy Shadow Cosplays. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and all that fun jazz at the same handle. It is so good to see you all again. We have been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, getting up some stuff, like getting some new business cards, which here are still in the works. We are still in the process of getting everything with our first official partnership, or what was it called? Partnership? Our first official partnership is still in the works, but it is official. That's really awesome. It's really fun, and it's really exciting. So,
Love them.
We're still not going to disclose who it is because we're still getting the legal jargon said and done with. But it is officially happening, and we are very excited when we are able to announce it to everybody. As always, I'm Sleep Shadow Cosplays. We are also joined here with Flicka and John, as always. And for those of you who are new, this is Chris. He is one of the original founders of the Cosplay Confederation. He had to step out for a while to take care of himself, and now he's back. And we are more than happy to have him back, especially with everything that's been going on, the new updates, the new way we are running stuff. It's so awesome to see one of our old members return.
Shady's back. Tell a friend.
Damn it, you stole my
More
joke.
Backstreet Boys.
We are hoping for the possibility of doing a Halloween live over on TikTok, where it's just still in the works of if it's going to happen or not. If it is, we will make announcements over on our TikTok and on our Instagram at the Cosplay Confederation. For those of you who go ahead.
Oh, I won't be able to join on Friday because I got to take the kiddos out for trick or treating.
It would be after trick or treat because my parents, I have family stuff going on that day anyway.
Okay,
it would have to be a late night episode, if anything else.
Mm-hmm. So like 10.
It'll probably be an hour later than what we normally do for our episodes. Theoretically, it's still a possibility. If we do decide we're going to do it, we will announce it over on our TikTok and Instagram. Something else I had to say. Yes, there was. For those of you who are in the state of Ohio or coming to Ohio for GalaxyCon, you can actually run into one of the Cosplay Confederation members. I will be there. I will be cosplaying Overhaul. Charmy from Black Clover.
Ooh.
So if you know My Hero Academia, you can find me as Overhaul. I'll be using my natural brown hair, so I'm going to be a femme Overhaul. I will be doing Charmy from Black Clover and Porcus D8 from One Piece. If you find me, please feel free to say hi. I'm more than happy to sit down and talk to anybody. We do have a special guest. We have a couple guests in the works. One of them being a fellow cosplayer and vlogger, so he runs his own stuff, and it'll be very fun because I actually did an interview with him on his own channel. So that's a fun thing that'll be coming out. I don't know when it's coming out. I'll have to reach back out to him, but he will be joining us at one point on the channel. I'm going to talk about what it's like to be a cosplayer and a vlogger. With that being said, today John is going to be talking about EVA Foam work, I think.
Oh, look at that smile. Look at that adorable little smile.
That being said, let's get started.
Okay. So, EVA Foam. What is it? What do you need to know? Well, EVA Foam is a thicker, denser style of foam than, say, like styrofoam or or like craft foams, stuff like that. Also quite a bit thicker. Anyway, losing my thought here. Anyway,
Squirrel.
The things you can do with EVA foam, if any of you watching attended FanX this last year, probably saw this little number. This is the new helmet that I built specifically for FanX. And I give you a look at it. Go along with the armor that I've worn for the last 2 years. EVA foam can be used to build props, costume pieces, pretty much anything your heart can imagine. But I guess more specifically, my expertise obviously comes from the armor department. Specifically, like pieces like this. This is a gauntlet that just slides onto your arm. So, it can be kind of difficult to work with, given the complexity of the build and just how you want it to do it. Like this arm piece is probably one of the most complicated pieces I've ever built because my arms are freakishly sized. Being that it's super teeny tiny here around the wrist, but when you get here, it's unusually yeah, I kind of had to build this with that in mind and had to make adjustments even after I finished the nothing's going to be perfect. It's kind of difficult to get into, but I mean, well, just like anything else with cosplay, enough practice and get relatively good. Have any questions so far?
Chris said something.
Chris?
Is it heavy?
Not really, no. I mean, honestly, it really depends on the size of what you build and how many layers are incorporated. Like my chest piece. So, for reference, this thing probably weighs about 5 pounds, give or take. About 10 pounds. So it's not super, super heavy, but it's not gonna be, it's like you're gonna feel it's there, but it's not gonna like weigh you down. Like
Depending on where you're at, how hot can it range? From being where you can keep your armor on the whole con to holy shit, I can't do this. They're right.
It really kind of depends on the person. Me, I could keep it on all freaking day, even if it's 90 damn degrees outside. As far as temperature goes, you do kind of have to be a bit careful, especially if you have your armor sitting in or just your cosplay sitting in a hot and or cold car. Because, for example, these gauntlets were assembled entirely out of hot glue. Hot glue, of course, when it gets too warm, it starts to jelly eyes or whatever the fuck the term. I don't even know. But you can have stuff like this happen. Yeah, but you can have stuff like this happen where you see my little thing here. Ended up coming apart this last convention, and I still haven't gotten around to fixing it. Yeah. But yeah, so that's definitely one thing to consider. As far as keeping it on or off the entire convention, something like what I built is definitely a little bit easier. It doesn't, fling your entire body. Like if I were to even put this on right now, there would only be some contact. As far as my body goes, like I wore it on stream one time. I think you
You
would
did.
think Shadow and Flicker remember. But after that, I just had like a whole, like it looked like I had a shitload of boob sweat, for lack of a better term.
It did.
It was hilarious and gross at the same time. Shadow, your question.
So, actually, I have a little side comment about the thick of how hot it can be. So, EVA foam ranges in different thicknesses, and it's like the smallest is like 0.1 or 2, I think, and it's like really, it's like almost like paper thin. And so, like, it depends if you use like lighter stuff, it's going to be less heat versus the thicker stuff is going to be more heavy and hot.
Let's see. I wish I had a thinner piece to show you, but like this
I
is my
was
ab
looking around
plate.
because I just it.
And so like one layer of foam, the relatively thick piece of foam. So when it's sitting there on your body, it's gonna create
another big thing with EVA foam. A lot of people don't know until they've worked with it. It's flexible. If you heat it up, it flexes.
Yes.
So leaving it, like you were talking about, being careful about leaving it in a car.
Yes.
You gotta be careful, not just because of what glue you use, but with the foam itself. Because like if you hit it, if it like it's like a 90-degree day, and then you go to put it on, and you fuss with it, it can bend out of place. I've known people whose pieces have been out of place, and they had to remake it because it was like the EVA foam went all janky when it cooled, and they weren't sure how it even did that and couldn't get it back in its shape. You can reheat it up and then just fix it, but it's a
perfect example. But and heat isn't necessarily always a bad thing, because even to like build some stuff, as far as EVA foam goes, you're gonna need some heat. Perfect example is this ab plate. So you can see the curvature here, kind of, sort of. But what I did is I took a heat gun to it, and I pretty much just pushed it up against my belly. You can't really see it, but I pushed it up against my beer gut. Just kind of shaped it accordingly. Like for more complicated pieces, like for my thigh pieces. So you see how I have these nice, lovely little corners here. What I had to do there was I actually had to cut a bevel. Like if you look at the back of it, I had to cut a bevel right here, put hot glue into it, heat it up, and then bend it and glue it to where it sat all nice and pretty. Which will also affect how much gross bodily fluids end up accruing on your cosplay. That hot glue.
What about cleaning and maintaining? What about cleaning and maintaining? What does that look like for you?
So, oh damn it! I actually need to make some new cleaning fluid, and I forgot the. But you could put a special mix of. Oh hell! What was it? It was like vodka, and I don't remember the fluid. I'm gonna have to have you guys tell me again, because I actually need
alkali.
But
rubbing alcohol and water.
Yeah, it was like the mix. I forgot the ratio of the mix. And you just spray.
Oh, you talking ratios? I don't understand.
It's not like you can run this shit through the washing machine. Like to. But yeah, I think it's like a mix of alcohol and rubbing alcohol or vodka. And
I think it was like 1 part rubbing alcohol, 2 parts water, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, you put that into just one of your regular old spray bottles. You kind of spray the inside of it, and then take a paper towel, kind of wipe it in there, and then just let it sit, and that'll kill pretty much anything that gets either on or cosplay or whatever. I keep saying armor because that's what I build. And yeah, fairly easy. Or if you have it painted, you've only got one side to make. If the paint does a pretty good job of serving the other side. Yes, Chris.
I'm going to play a little game here. 3D printing or EVA foam. What do you think would be better for printing or for making cosplay pieces? Not props, but cosplay pieces such as armor, helmets, and stuff like that.
Armor. I mean, that's a tough one for me to answer because I've only ever built out of EVA foam. But I mean, you can achieve almost the same quality by using foam opposed to 3D printing. You could almost achieve relatively about the same quality. Just from what I've seen in all the tutorials I've looked at. Based on your skill level, of course. How much practice you've had. For like small little detailed pieces, you could probably be easier to use foam just because it's a little bit cheaper and a little bit easily attached. As far as that goes, I was about to say, and you can even use a mix of both 3D printing and foam if you wanted to, depending on what you're wanting to do and how complicated you're wanting to get with it. Lika had her hand.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay. What's
I
up,
forgot
Shadow?
what I was gonna say.
I was like, I'm gonna hop off that train of printing versus making. As someone who does both, I actually do have some 3D printed stuff around my room that I've made. I've shown some in episodes as well. It depends on what you're trying to make because, like, personally, like this, I would have rather 3D printed. And it also depends on like
the second episode. Exactly.
So it fixed it. I did fix the stick, or my dad fixed the stick, but that still is. It also depends on if you're like wanting to compete and stuff because I'm not too sure on how they take it of 3D printing versus rafting is. It just depends if you're wanting to do competitions. Most competitions require you to make 70% of the cosplay and have proof. I personally have never competed. I know a lot of people who do, so I've been looking into competing, so the knowledge I know is from what people have told me or what I've looked up. So I'm not necessarily saying in any way I'm 100% accurate in what I am saying, but I'm saying from my knowledge, from what I know. I'm not sure how they go on versus 3D printing and making, but I do know you are required to make. Most conventions require at least 70% of it to be made by you, and they want evidence of it. They want to see the progress of how you did it. So, like when I made this, I took step-by-step photos of cutting this out, gluing it to this, putting it on the stripe, carving out the stripe, painting it, gluing this onto this and this onto here. And then I used to have one on the bottom of here, but I actually took it off because I hated how it looked. And my dad actually took the metal piece that was on here off as well. The only piece on this entire thing that I did not do was this little hashtag, which was meant to look like the little scrape on the mic. That is the only thing I did not make on this entire piece. I cut everything else by hand. I painted everything by hand. All my boyfriend did was stand by and help me show me how to operate the equipment I used to cut it so I didn't hurt myself. So I did use not hacksaw. I can't remember what the name of it is. I did use a saw to create this.
A sawzall? Is that what you were thinking?
I think the little tiny one with the blade
A jigsaw.
that you slide the piece through. A Zaza?
Yeah.
Jigsaw.
Okay.
Jigsaw.
I don't know parts, so I'm like, I don't know. He went, if you're trying to cut that, this is gonna be the best thing. I went, okay.
Why they're called jigsaw
it
puzzles,
differs?
because they're made.
Again, not a tool person.
Fair enough. As far as props go, give me just a second. And Shadow, I know you've got more stuff, but I'm just saying, like, give me a second and grab my.
But it's like armor. It depends because there are filaments that are flexible, but it's again that whole how much are you wanting it to weigh? How much durability do you want? How long are you willing to take? How much